All right, welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET Now. Well, here's a very interesting category of funds that has recently been launched, or rather we are seeing now a lot of NFOs, a lot of mutual fund houses, in this category, launch funds in this category. It's called the Target Maturity Index Funds. So we are going to get you a primer of what exactly this new category is so that you can stay on top of the game, understand whether this fund essentially suits you, your requirement, your return expectation, your time horizon and everything. To explain this with us, I have with me none other than Radhika Gupta, MD and CEO of Edelweiss AMC. Radhika, a real pleasure having you with us, and thank you so much for taking our time from your busy schedule to join in. So to start with, Radhika, I think I'll start off with the very basics. What exactly are Target Maturity Index Funds? I know this much that they are a debt fund. So how do they differ from other debt funds?
So Target Maturity Index Funds, I think, combine the benefits of three products that maybe viewers are more well aware of. One is they are index funds, as you said, so they are passively managed and they run on an index. A Target Maturity Debt Fund has an index portfolio. In our case, the index happens to be NSE provided and it follows an index. A Target Maturity Debt Fund behaves like a bond. So when you hold a bond, if I hold a bond of NHAI or PFC, I buy a bond and I hold it till maturity. And if I'm a hold to maturity investor, Mobina, I earn the coupon plus I get my principal back on the bond. So if I'm due to earn 5.5% coupon on the bond plus all the accruals, I will get that for 5 years in a target maturity structure, regardless, and this is important, of whether interest rates move up, down, what the RBI does, X, Y, Z. A Target Maturity Debt Fund basically is a debt fund or an index fund that holds a collection of bonds and holds them till maturity. So it's just a basket of bonds held till maturity, and the maturity is usually defined. So April 2026, April 30, whatever it is, it holds bonds till maturity. And the similarity to a mutual fund is it's a mutual fund vehicle, so it is diversified. You're not holding one bond. So in some way, it's a product combining the best of passive investing, because you know what the index is, the structure of a bond and the diversification of a mutual fund. It is different from two mutual fund debt products that investors may be familiar with. One is an FMP. FMPs are good products and they were popular because, again, they were target maturity in nature. They bought bonds and held them till maturity. And if you were a hold to maturity investor, you got the return that you were kind of indicated at the beginning without worrying about interest rates. So they give you that. But FMPs were closed-ended. These are completely open-ended. You don't need to worry about loads and getting in and out. They're also significantly more transparent. With an FMP, you didn't know your yields, you didn't know your portfolios. Here, because it's an index fund, it's an independent index, there's no fund manager discretion on what to hold, and portfolios are disclosed daily. So it's a transparent, open-ended version of the old school FMP, is what I would say, packaged at very low cost. It's different, I'll end here, from a traditional debt mutual fund, because traditional debt mutual funds carry duration, and duration is something that we kind of struggle and grapple with, especially in a time when interest rates go up. So in a month like February, when corporate bond funds probably had a duration of 5, you probably would have seen a lot of red in your portfolio, and you always worry about the return predictability. With target maturity, you start at a maturity of 5 and it just gradually comes down, so you don't have to worry about duration if you're a hold to maturity investor.
Okay. Radhika, the last few days, largely, of course, if we have to compare maybe 1 year ago and now, yields are definitely lower, but we've been seeing this real spike in yields in these last few days. So in such an environment, and given what we are expecting for yields in 2021, are these funds poised for good returns then?
Look, if you are, and I'll just give you an example of yields in one of our own funds that's in the market. If there's a 2026 product, then beyond ours, most of the products are in the 5 to 6 year vicinity. Your current yield on a gross basis is about 6.4%. Net of the low cost structure, you're at 5.9% pre-tax, because these enjoy the benefit of post-tax, because these enjoy the benefit of indexation. That, in my view, for a 5-year investor is a pretty healthy return to lock in. It may not be the highest, but it's not at all bad given where yields are. We also did some quick math that, what if yields rise even 1% more over the next 3 years and you were an investor in a 5-year product? Even then your return, your annualized return as an investor is something like 6.1% pre-tax, which is also not bad. So I think the short answer is yes, I think these products are coming at a good time. And more importantly than that, I think as a hold to maturity investor, good or bad, you know the return that you're going to get, and there's a lot of visibility around it.
All right. Radhika, let's also understand the risks involved. I mean, I'm sure credit risk is obviously one risk, which we'll discuss later. But in terms of interest rates as well, you spoke about it a little. So is that the second risk involved when one invests in the target maturity index funds?
Yeah, so I think the two risks are credit risk, which we can discuss later, and it depends on the underlying. And if you're not a hold to maturity investor, the short-term spike in interest rates, as I said, that moderates over 3 years. Over the hold to maturity period, that's not an issue. But this is not a 6 month to 1 year product, clearly.
All right. Let's talk now about the credit risk bit, because we have seen this being a niggling factor for a lot of debt fund holders as well. What happens in case of if one or two of the holdings of a fixed target maturity index portfolio does go bad in any manner, or the rating falls? We have seen this happen in the past. It's created quite a ruckus in FMPs particularly. So what happens in such a situation?
So credit risk is very important to look at in target maturity funds. The good news is most target maturity funds actually are holding portfolios that are either sovereign or AAA PSU. The first set of target maturity funds was Bharat Bond, the Bharat Bond series by Government of India. That was all AAA PSU companies. So I think you carry minimal credit risk. The current set that we're doing is 50% AAA PSU, 50% state development loans, which are sovereign rated. So I think you need to really evaluate each target maturity fund and what its portfolio is. How do you find out what the portfolio is? It's in the index. So the independent index provider actually publishes the index, which will have all the constituents. So there's no surprises there. You know all the holdings. And if you don't feel comfortable with any of the credit risks, then you can step back. There is a guideline by SEBI here that if there is a downgrade, even a notch downgrade, and the index's guideline is AAA, PSU and SDL, if something goes from AAA to even AA plus, it has to come out of the index, and thereafter it has to come out of the fund as well. So you're not going to have something hit default and then come out. The guidelines are very, very strict in the fact that there is even a single downgrade and it has to come out of the index if it doesn't meet the credit rating standard.
So Radhika, just to sort of summarize it, we always say that one must invest in mutual funds with a goal in mind. So what goal would this category of funds help a retail investor achieve? Which retail investors is this fund best suited to?
So this is clearly for people who have a goal in line with the maturity of the funds. So in this case, a 4 to 5 year kind of goal, ideally 5-year goal. And it's a goal where you're expecting and you want safety of capital. So if I'm looking to buy a house or fund an education in 5 years, I know I'm going to need this money in 5 years. I don't want any capital downside on it. Then this is the fund. It's obviously not an equity fund in nature, but clearly I think, because of the maturity, the category of investors is very much out there. And as I would reiterate, it's not a short-term fund.
Well, Radhika, once again, really appreciate you giving us your time today, to explain our viewers this new and emerging concept, keeping them ahead as well of the curve, to be able to understand how these category of funds can fit in for their profile and, their investment portfolio. Okay, well, we will do one thing. We'll take a very short break, but when we return, we'll be back with our Spend with TMS segment. We'll be putting the spotlight on inflation and whether it really has impacted your wallets.